Well, joining us this morning is Mr. Ron Vanderhoof, Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning. Ron, good to see you this morning.
Good morning.
Well, you've been a busy guy.
Yes, we have been.
This time of year in particular, right?
Well, it's starting to kick in now. Okay, I think we actually hope for a little bit of cold weather about now. Okay.
Yeah. It's great. Like, people should be like thinking, oh yeah, we should plan now and make sure everything is checked out. We'll get into all that here in a little bit, but yeah, it's the weather's just been kind of holding on enough where you're not really worrying about it.
It's right. Everybody's living in that la la land where we don't need heat, we don't need cooling. We're just gonna live here forever. Okay?
Yeah, and you're such a professional that when you get 1,000 phone calls that first weekend or weeknight where it's 40 degrees and the furnace isn't kicking on, you very professional and like but I know you're probably thinking, you could have called a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, you certainly do think that. You always like that. It's we always like that nice even flow, but it doesn't happen that way. But fortunately, I have enough guys and trucks that we take guys, and when that happens, we can pull install guys off doing that kind of work, and we put them over on the service side of things because my guys are pretty able to. They know they can go back and forth and do it all. Okay, and we put them over and we start running service calls until we catch up, and then we can flow back. So we're fortunate that way.
Well, we'll talk more about that in a moment. But first, you did it last year, and it's back again this year.
Yes, the pumpkin giveaway.
Yeah.
So, but we're going to double in size this year. Last year I had about 100, a little less than 100 pumpkins that I gave away, and we had no idea what it was going to be like. You're worried about, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with all these pumpkins? If they don't, if they don't show up or whatever, But it went very well, and we gave them away. Seemed like in no time.
Wow.
So this year I doubled it. I have 200 pumpkins to give away at the shop. And we'll put them out front there, and we'll have the cars come through, and we just kind of like a drive-through pumpkin, okay? So pull up, and we'll hand you your pumpkin.
Say hi to Ron and the crew, though, when you come through.
Yeah, say hi to us, yeah. So
now, we'll get your location, but this is, again, one free pumpkin per child.
Yes, one free pumpkin per child. Per child. We just ask that the child is present because we like to see them. We want to see the smiles on their face, and it's a thrill to see what they do. Their eyes light up, and they fit those pumpkins. We'll put them in the car for you, and we just last year we got people pictures they send us, and we got letters back from them. So it was really fun that way to be able to get with the community, I guess, to see what they do with them.
That's fantastic. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's got to make you feel great.
Yeah, we were thrilled. I was not expecting anything like that. So
now, any changes to how it's going to operate this year versus last year? Is pretty much the same thing because it's a drive-through situation,
yeah, pretty much
right?
The same deal. Okay, we'll set them out in front of the shop there. Yeah, there, that picture right there. You see the cones we put out there. Okay, we just ask the folks that's coming from town to pull in and go between the row of boxes in the building. Okay. And then anybody coming from the north come in the other way and stay on the road side of things. Okay?
Oh, wow.
So
that's great. I was just looking at some of the comments from last year. One said, "This was the sweetest thing. Thank you so much. My kids are super excited."
Yeah, so I was thrilled. I'd have never expected anything like that. But we got some things in the mail where kids would draw crayon markers and pictures and thanked us and things, and of course all the Facebook feedback we got. So it was
That's awesome.
thrilling.
So the second annual pumpkin giveaway happening this Friday.
Okay.
October 4th from 5 to 7 p.m. or until pumpkins are gone, and it sounds like you want to get there.
Yeah. Get there. Come on in, and it goes pretty good. We get them in there and come through. And I guess if I'll say if there happens to be any left over Friday night, okay, we'll probably post it and maybe do it again Saturday morning for those that weren't able to come Friday night.
Okay.
So that's kind of a contingency plan there.
But don't take any chances. Try to get there Friday before they're gone. 200 pumpkins. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Did you pick them up already?
Oh, yeah. Yep. I got
Okay.
a gooseneck trailer, and I went to a produce auction, and they're in the big boxes, and they're sitting on my trailer behind the shop there. It's kind of neat that I had some people, actually, I had them parked in at home, okay, and I had people ask me, what on earth are you doing with all those pumpkins?
So don't let Ron fool you. He didn't grow these this year.
Not at all.
Okay. You didn't have any time to do that.
Yeah.
But October 4th, 5 to 7 p.m., and you get one free pumpkin per child. Child must be present. And again, when you get there, and Ron, give us the location. So when you get there, just follow the signs to know how to pull in.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. We're right on Route 8 there in Hidetown, right across from the cemetery there. Okay. So it's 12378 I say Highway 8. Okay. Just before the beer distributor. Everybody knows the building is the old tire shop. Okay. So pretty easy to find us.
All right, we'll come back and recap that in a moment. Let's get into this time of year real quick. There's a lot to take in as the weather, you'd like to think it's going to start to change here. Some people, as you said, are kind of maybe living in this, maybe we'll have this all year, but that's not really going to happen. It's going to get colder. Why should they contact you? Why should they contact a professional to get some maintenance work done before they fire up their furnaces?
It's simply, routine maintenance is going to avoid any troubles later in the year. Okay, so a lot of times we're able to pick up issues on a piece of equipment and anticipate a failure in the future. Okay, so when we do our service, there's 30 different items that this technician checks, okay? And a lot of times like I said, we can anticipate it, and if you could anticipate, if you knew a light bulb was going to burn out beforehand, you would obviously change that light bulb before, okay? Well, we can do that with a lot of components on a furnace, and just plain simple cleaning and things will make it run more efficient, okay? And make a better operation for you.
I would imagine too, by doing that, if we need to get this part replaced or something, changed out, you're not waiting for it not to work, ordering the part, and then coming back. You can get a jump on things.
That's exactly right. We can look at something and say, okay, that motor, it's making noise. I can check it. I can tell the amp draw is higher than it should be on that motor. That motor is on its way to failing. Okay, and we're able to give the people the cost so it isn't a surprise. Okay, they anticipate that. And in this day and age, parts aren't just sitting on the shelf anymore. Okay, we can't stock it. I can't even begin to think of stocking items. And same with my supplier. A lot of times we're getting into 2-3 day lead time. There's sometimes we have to get stuff direct from factory, and there's 7 to 10 day lead time on that. Wow. And it's just out of my control. It's one of the things that I struggle with the most now. It's not available, and with this new era that we're in, I don't know. It's a lot worse than it used to be. Okay. And
just imagine, obviously, there's a lot of older homes, right? And some of the homes may have furnaces that are 30, 40 years old, some that are 10 to 20, 40, 50 years.
I just this year, I've seen 2 furnaces that were late 70s.
Wow.
Still in service.
Wow.
Yeah, and then the other thing, and actually just this week on a house just locally out on the Buxton Road area, okay, they called us to routine service. They'd been having trouble with it, okay, and we went and looked at it, and it's a 50-year-old furnace, okay. My technician went out and inspected it and found a cracked heat exchanger in it, a very big gaping hole heat exchanger in it, which we had to condemn the furnace and shut it down for them. And it's one of those things that they were older couple, all right, and it's dangerous. Okay, and it's kind of one of those things you kind of you hate to find something like that. It's going to cost people money. But another thing, you're looking at this, man, we could have, you could have saved something very, very, very bad happening here.
Yeah,
that things went south.
Wow.
Okay? So,
and again, that's why it's important to have it checked out before you just fire it up.
Yeah, that's right. Because there's over the season, I couldn't even begin to tell you. We found everything from mice to bats to spiders to squirrels to birds to chipmunks that come down and gotten into the flue and plugged things off. And the thing of it is you could maybe plug it off enough to where it'll run, but it's not venting properly, and you can get flue gases and things back into the house, which you can understand what that can be.
Bad thing, yeah.
Bad juju stuff.
Yeah. So I want to get into just how much technology has changed, and I know things may be tough for some people, and hey, well, that furnace has worked for 50 years. We just keep trucking along until people change it out and they realize, oh my gosh, it is so much more energy efficient. The costs are going down. It's incredible that mindset changes, when you install a new furnace.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you stop and think about technology as a whole over the last 50 years. Go back to automobiles, go back to whatever. Okay, I mean, microwave first came around 50 years ago, probably. Okay, and to what they are now. So if you got a furnace that's 50 years old, to today's technology, they are just so much more efficient, and also the quiet. Okay, they're so much more quieter, and they gave a much more even heat that we're able to do today. And with the thermostats of today, okay, they are very accurate. And we've had people that they've noticed a savings on their bills just by a thermostat change compared to the old one.
Oh wow.
Okay, because they're so much more accurate, and they're able to anticipate the heat, and you don't have the peaks and valleys. Okay, where the old furnace, you'd start to notice that, okay, it's starting to get chilly in here. Oh, it's about time for that furnace to kick on. And yep, furnace kicks on, and then it runs and runs and runs and runs and runs and runs, and then it starts to it's getting a little, about time for that furnace to kick off, and the furnace would kick off, and then all right, then it'd be off for a while. That was just the way it was. Well, now if you set your thermostat at 71 degrees, it stays 71 degrees. It doesn't get low, it doesn't get high. And I've actually had people call me and say that they don't think things are working right. And I said, okay, why? Well, what's your thermostat set at? 71. Well, what's the temperature in the room? 71. Well, and okay. They said, well, the furnace is running. I'm like, yeah, but does it ever get 72? Well, no. Okay, so that's how precise they are. I've actually had people call and think that there's something not working right because it's set at 71, it is 71, and the furnace is running. Well, that's the perfect world.
And I'll tell you, that just brings back a lot of memories of just how it was, right? You were either really hot one moment or really cold, and it was just, you never really had that good in between.
Yeah, and that's what it was. It's you ended up to get over the lows, you'd put it a little bit higher. Right. Okay, and so and now they found out that they're more comfortable. They're comfortable at a lower temperature setting now.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where a lot of that savings comes in.
Oh, that's fantastic. You're watching The Morning Drill on Stream Television and on Armstrong's Neighborhood Channel. Ron Vanderhoof with us here this morning. Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning, just outside of Titusville, outside of Hightown. Ron, you mentioned the thermostat, furnace. If somebody needed a furnace replaced, do you have that in stock? Do you have to order that? Again, this is why people should be calling you now. And with thermostats, I never would have thought, you could come in and just replace the thermostat if their furnaces are decent?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we've done it many a times. There's a lot of times people call and say that they're having trouble, the furnace isn't working, and many times it's a thermostat. Okay, and you find a 50-year-old thermostat that somebody has come in and replaced a furnace 10, 15, 20 years ago, but they didn't replace that thermostat. So now they're operating on that really old thermostat, and the really old ones, they have the mercury in them, okay? Yeah. And they're mechanical, and they get filled up with dirt. And that's where we find those little things that will make a big difference for you.
So do you, for example, thermostats or even furnaces, do you recommend certain brands? Or do you talk to them about budget or what they're, what they want to try? Because I think thermostats today, a lot of them you can now pull it up on your phone. So if you're coming home and you want your house to be warmer or whatever, you can play with that.
You got your Wi-Fi thermostats, okay? I think they have their place, okay? Just normal residentially in your home that you live in every day, I think a Wi-Fi thermostat, the connective thermostats we refer to them they're nice if you just like to be able to keep an eye on things, okay? Where they have their place is really, I feel they really have their place is is that second home. Okay, if you have a camp or a lake house or something, and you're able to monitor that, okay, when you're not there. So that's where I think they play, and they'll actually send you. You can set them up to where they'll send you a notification if the furnace isn't working.
Wow.
So that's where they really come into play for me. Program thermostats in your home, turning your temperature up and down in a regular 24-hour period, I don't think you're really gaining a whole lot.
Okay. So I'm sure there's then a variety or a range of thermostats somebody could order, or you're recommending those to them like, hey, I think this is what you would need.
We have our one model that we use. It's a Honeywell model, okay.
Which they're the thermostat
Honeywell,
people,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've been around for a while. Okay. That we found that we can works in a very wide range of situations, okay? Because we're able to program. We can set them up when we go into our setup, okay? We can tell it, what type of fuel we're burning and everything, and we can go in and we program that thermostat to fit that furnace.
Wow.
Okay, so.
Now, a lot of times people will say, well, I live in an older home. Will the new thermostat work with the current wiring, or do you have to rewire anything?
Occasionally, it's ideally if we're able to have enough wires, more than 2 wires, that we're actually taking the power from the furnace to energize the thermostat, so you're not relying just on batteries, okay? And that's something a lot of people will do and have done, and we have had many calls where the furnace wasn't working, they didn't have any heat, they're in panic, okay? Oh my gosh, something's terrible happening, and it's nothing more than batteries, okay? Whereas if we do able to put those more wires, and that's one of the things I insist on when we replace a furnace, if they don't have enough wires in the wall, we pull more wires so that we're able to feed that thermostat off that furnace, and that doesn't happen. So.
I will admit that probably has happened to me once or twice, where you go, oh, something's not working. Oh, the battery, change the battery, and then it's fine. Yeah. Yep. Again, good tips here this morning, Ron. All right, let's recap what's going on this very Friday. The second annual pumpkin giveaway. Talk about that.
Talk about that, huh?
5 to 7?
5 to 7 at our shop there in Hightown. Come on up, bring the kids along, pack them all in the car, okay? Pull in and we'll hand you a pumpkin.
That's awesome. And again, you just go back. You can like the Facebook page, and you can even see some pictures from last year. And just the comments are outstanding there. And you said people were sending you letters and pictures. And
oh yeah, I was totally surprised. I didn't ever expected anything like that. But we really enjoyed that part a lot. So we're looking forward to that too this year.
200 pumpkins being given away this Friday from 5 to 7 at Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning. So stop by, check it out. It's a drive-through. It's really convenient. It's awesome, and you get to drive off with a pumpkin.
Yeah, and they're really nice pumpkins this year too. They're all nice, about basketball-sized pumpkins. Just a nice size. So.
Now, were they sending you pictures when they got them home, or after they had carved them, or a little bit of both?
It's after they carved them.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
That's really cool. See, that's awesome.
Yep.
And then Ron, the other thing I don't think people realize, you again, the professional side of things, the technology you use for appointments. Everything is run smoothly. So if somebody needs to get their furnace looked at, they can call, get something scheduled, and they get notifications. It's wonderful.
Absolutely. We have a system. We have an app that we use. It's called House Call Pro. Okay, it's on the computer, and actually, all my technicians have it on their phones also, so they're able to get their calls on their phone, and it pulls up and. You're able to when you schedule your appointment. Okay, once we have a mobile number and or email, once it's scheduled, you will get a text and or email notifying of your appointment. That when that day and time it is. Okay, and then when the technician is on his way, he will send you a little notification saying the technician's on his way, and who the technician's going to be, and then. After that, it's all kind of electronic. We're able to take payment mobile, okay, on our phone, right there. Makes it easy. I'm able to email you invoices that you can pay right there online. And we have a lot of customers that are not around. I mean, Tynesta, Tidiute camps, we do a ton of them there. So we have a lot of people who are Pittsburgh, Cleveland way. I actually have a customer that lives in California that owns property here that we do work for, and he loves it that he was able to pay for it remotely and things. So it
makes
it simple.
Ron, good to see you. Thank you.
Yep.